Greetings, all! Today, we'll be examining the uncommon ground-type Pokemon Drilbur, the Mole Pokémon, and its relatively rare ground-steel-type evolution Excadrill, the Subterrene Pokémon. Existing as expert diggers of a sort and worth looking out for, the members of the Drilbur family are unique moles that can really get the drop on anyone that thinks they can hide from them above ground.
Drilbur have small, stout bodies with fine blackish-brown hair covering most of their form, with blue zigzagging marks of fur across their frame, as well as two small, three-toed black feet and hands with three large white claws each and a blue spot on their palms. Their face is almost totally white, with a large mouth, pinprick black eyes, and a long snout with a pink nose at its tip. The evolved form Excadrill have a similar fur pattern to them, with dark brown hair and red claw-like markings across their form, their feet looking much smaller compared to the rest of their form, their larger thighs especially. Their face remains mostly unchanged aside from a trio of thin claw-like markings on their cheeks, but their claws are transformed into a trio of grey-bladed appendages, with the middle fingers having raised two barbed upper edges, and their forehead is now adorned with a thick blade-like extension of metal with a twin-peaked ridge of material on its top edge as well.
Although Drilbur and Excadrill both share many common traits with traditional moles in terms of habitat and lifestyle, they are a bit more active than their relatives above ground and are able to move much faster when beneath the ground.
Since both of these creatures only have relatively average defenses, surviving the attacks of other organisms has effectively come down to both their movement speeds and physical strength, the latter of course being solved by the incredibly sharp claws. In order to avoid predators altogether more effectively, however, Drilbur and Excadrill have adapted to putting their claws together and rotating their bodies rapidly like drills, burrowing through sediment and bedrock alike in order to avoid confrontation. While they cannot move quite as quickly as Pokemon like Diglett and Dugtrio, these creatures are still able to move substantially quickly beneath the surface and can easily cause massive earthquake attacks with their motions. What makes them truly unique, however, is that their brand of underground mobility also gives them access to the powerful Drill Run attack out of all Pokemon. Other Pokemon that can learn this unique attack naturally only use a specific portion of their body to deliver the attack. Since Drilbur and Excadrill use their entire bodies as drills, they would use their entire body weight to deliver punishing strikes that can easily devastate opponents. While the Drill Run attack isn't quite as powerful as an Earthquake attack, the fact that it has a high chance of scoring a critical hit often makes it more than worthwhile to specialize in within the confines of close quarters combat. Interestingly enough, both the base abilities of these Pokemon can possess, namely the Sand Rush and Sand Force abilities, which are derived from the capacity to use the sand around them and that clings to them as they dig to both make them more agile and give them increased frictional force for greater damage, further take full advantage of their ground-type powers, overall making them exceptionally dangerous when placed inside of a sandstorm. It is noted though that in rare cases, they can instead use a sense of greater gumption to lash out at others without regards to their ability, in turn having access to Mold Breaker as a hidden ability. As far as the stats are concerned, in the case of Excadrill, while they are severely lacking in the way of defense and special attributes, they have a great deal of stamina and physical power to them, and are rather fast as well, the base HP attack and speed stats being above average for a fully evolved ground and steel-type Pokemon, giving them a bit of an edge over other physical brawlers in turn. Drilbur are considerably friendlier than their evolved form, and often enjoy racing others in digging matches, regardless of whether or not the opponent is actually below the ground. Considering the fact that they can dig at up to 30 miles per hour and always go into the ground towards prey and targets of light claw first, this means they can give even motor vehicles above ground a good challenge. Drilbur are generally difficult for trainers to locate in the wild because of their reliance on the ground for protection and their somewhat timid demeanors, making them all but impossible to find outside of caverns and other perpetually dark places. Thankfully, the unique drilling styles of both Drilbur and Excadrill make them easy to locate if one has a careful eye, as the heaving motion generated by the rotation is often enough to cause overlying sediment to cave in and produce small clouds of dust in the process. Drilbur are generally easy to train and rarely ever show any signs of disobedience, minus their penchant for digging up vegetable gardens to the ire of many farmers, but after evolution, they can become particularly volatile when defeated in battle. Trainers should keep this in mind if they wish to handle these Pokemon effectively in the long run. Known as the Drill King, Excadrill are distinct from Drilbur in that the hardened keratin that once formed their claws has mostly been replaced with organic steel, hence their typing is steel types despite the fact that the only steel type move they learn naturally is the metal claw attack, in order to better buffer against friction. This has the interesting effect of not only increasing their offensive capabilities, but also allowing them to learn the utterly devastating Horn Drill attack immediately after evolving. In addition, part of the head is now adorned with an impressive head crest that serves as a tertiary piece when they place their claws together to form a drill. Although seemingly more for display purposes, the addition of a third piece to the drill bit actually reduces the pressure placed on their claws, allowing them to drill harder and longer than their pre-evolved form, being able to force their bodies through the ground at speeds of up to 90 miles per hour. Even thick iron plates are no match for these creatures' impressive physical strength. As such, Excadrill are often imported and employed in road construction across North America when a road needs to go through the side of a mountain or some other substantial body of rock, and the tunnels they dig can sometimes be large enough to be used by humans if left on their own without further excavation. The only downside to this is that Excadrill can become rather irate that they cannot get through a particular section of rock quickly enough, but their performance efficiency is more than enough to compensate for their bad temper. Unfortunately, it is also known that Excadrill tend to be equally frustrating to humans below the ground. Excadrill often build huge tunnel networks as their habitats in order to confuse any predators tenacious enough to follow them below the ground. Considering that these tunnels are usually more than 300 feet below the ground, however, it's a wonder that any predator would be foolish enough to follow them to such a depth. Nevertheless, these complex tunnels can often crisscross in such a way as to heavily destabilize overlying sediment and bedrock, sometimes leading to the partial or complete collapse of the overlying material. Aside from being dangerous in the case of building foundations, this activity is extremely destructive to subway tunnels and can often force cities to pay millions of dollars to either fill in the collapsed section or rebuild the collapsed section altogether. As of now, there's no way to easily remove an Excadrill infestation without resorting to toxic chemicals, as their powerful claws are sturdy enough to slice through traps, protect against concussive forces such as those produced in explosions, and reflect small caliber bullets.
As much as the members of the Diglett family might have more speed to them for getting out of danger, if you ask me, the members of the Drilbur family are the superior moles when it comes to just what sort of lasting impact they can have in battle. Drilbur are rather cute and tend to be easy to get along with for sure, but that doesn't mean they can't be devious little buggers when they want to be. Digging under fields, gardens, and houses, their tunnels can cause a lot of problems with others, and thus need to be paid attention to for one's own sake in most cases. Excadrill, on the other hand, are incredibly ornery beasts that always tend to make more trouble than they can be worth, and in turn can be a massive pain in the butt if they can't be dealt with directly. Even if that is an option, their extremely powerful claws and high stamina means that they have plenty of power and health to spare for longer battles, in turn making it only possible to really subdue them if the weaker defenses can be exploited in the heat of battle.
Though their small stature might not do the best job at indicating just how big of a threat they can be, the members of the Drilbur family are potent brutes that can inflict more than their fair share of destruction when push comes to shove. You might have to do some careful hunting above ground to find where they dwell, but it can be more than worth it if you're willing to stick with them and give them a hand or two artificially and outfitting them with really good moves.
Just do yourself a favor and make sure not to get in the way unless totally necessary if they're drilling around your property. It's one thing to get on their nerves, but it can be a much bigger issue if you make them angry enough to leave your home sinking into the depths of the earth.
Thank you all for watching this video. It always brings me great joy to see others enjoying the work I do to try and make the world of Pokemon and the fascinating creatures that lay inside of it feel as real as they possibly can. If you really enjoy my work, please feel free to leave a comment and subscribe, as I always do my best to respond to any and all comments that are left on my videos. In addition, if you wish to learn more about my work and help support it, you can find links to my Patreon page, as well as email and other contact information to my work on DeviantArt in the video description down below. Furthermore, you can find a link to my Discord server there as well if you'd like to get a first glimpse at what videos are coming up next and converse with other fans of the world of Pokemon. Thank you for taking the time to watch this, and have a wonderful rest of your day.